find yourself in a situation where you have given all hopes in your dreams and your aspirations, we may encounter many defeats, but never be defeated. So, join me, Leonora Jawala, on the inspirational program, My Story, as we bring you stories of people that will motivate you and uplift your spirit. Remember, you're never too old to start a new goal or even dream a new dream. Hello viewers, welcome to yet another edition of My Story. Today it is the story of a human rights lawyer and the Executive Director of Legal Aid Board Sierra Leone, Mrs. Fatmata Calire Hanciles. Hello madam, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us today. Let's get to know you. Can you share your childhood experience with us?
Well, I am Fatmata Calire Hanciles, the Executive Director of the Sierra Leone Legal Aid Board. Some 22 years ago, I became a member of the legal profession. I am married with 2 children. My husband is a lawyer. My 2 kids are reading law. We have lawyers on either side of the family. And so, really, law and justice runs in our veins. And the reason why I decided to become a lawyer really is to fight wrongs, human rights abuses, and to ensure we make the world a better place. So briefly, I am a human rights lawyer, and I work with the Legal Aid Board. Prior to the Legal Aid Board, I worked in the Special Court for Sierra Leone, and I was the principal defender. I was there for about 11 years, so I came with a wealth of experience. Part of my portfolio was legal aid. So this is why in a very short time, we have been able to establish Legal Aid Board nationwide.
Okay, so before we talk about your work in the Legal Aid Board, let me take you back. Growing up, becoming a lawyer, what are some of the challenges? How did you cope to study to become the person that you are today?
Well, at college,
was it challenging for you?
It was challenging because going through the course, coming out, and holding your own as a lawyer, a female lawyer, because you have the disadvantage, first of all, of when you get married, you have to have children, it takes your time off, you have to bring those children up, and it takes a lot of determination and courage, because especially when you are pregnant and you're practicing, you have to go through that phase. And when you are babysitting, the children are young. At times, in the mornings, I'll be dressed for court. I'll have a case in the high court, and maybe one of the children is crying, is sick, the nanny does not come, that kind of story. And then one holds onto your white tunic and gets the tunic dirty, and you have to go and sit there and have a baby change and do all these things. And then maybe your clerk is busy calling you, the clients are here, the case is coming up, and you have to start saying, who is there, who can step in for me, who can stand there? And at times you're in court, at 12 you should go and breastfeed the baby. And then by midday, you're ready to go and breastfeed. You've not finished in course, the files are many, so it starts going up and down. So we've gone through all those, and of course, attending PTA meetings, going to schools. Now the kids are at university, so they are older, so it's a bit easier. Having to drive this off here, drive the other one there. But as I say, to be successful in life, you have to really have a lot of challenges. And also when I started working with the special court, for a couple of years, I was counsel in the defense office. We started the defense office. But then when I was elevated to acting principal defender, and I was the first.
And the first Sierra Leone, I was going to say that.
And only Sierra Leonean and a woman to sit on the seat.
What was that experience for you?
It's a very big one because you have employees, you have over 42 nationalities, and you are like the number 3 in the court. You have the prosecutor, you have the registrar, and you have the principal defender. And you are in charge of all the accused persons. I was in charge of Mr. Charles Taylor. I was in charge of his detention, going into the jails, look at how he was treated, sitting with him, assigning counsel, and you have at times to remove counsel. You are also in charge of the prisoners in Rwanda, even when they were here in the court, and you have to manage. So at some point, I was virtually living in various countries. I was in Freetown, but I'm also in The Hague, in the trials, and I am also in Rwanda, and then later you have to go to London and back.
As a woman, was there any point when you feel threatened being the principal defender at the special court?
Well, because of your professionalism and the services you are rendering, the issue of threat does not come in. Because when and truly you are a professional and you're doing services and they're relevant and you take your job seriously, so you don't meet people and you play with their lives. Because when you do shoddy work or you play with people, that's the time people get angry and start wanting to harm. I will go to Liberia and visit houses of witnesses, go to Mr. Taylor's wife, talk to him if there are issues to be spoken about. I'll go to Rwanda. At times there is a problem, maybe Mr. Taylor walks out of court in The Hague. My phone will be ringing in Freetown that the trials have stopped, principal defender, where are you? The judges are asking. And like one occasion, I had gone and taken my kids from school and we were ready to have a nice weekend. We came to town, we did our shopping. I left the office around 2 o'clock. And I was going home, and then somebody phoned me from the office. The principal defender, are you in the office? I said no. And then I got another call from The Hague. Are you in the office? I said what? They said, something has happened in court, and the prosecution and the defense have both walked out, and Mr. Griffiths is not cooperating, and Mr. Taylor has asked that he be taken to his cells, to his jail. He's going to boycott court. He's not going to come to court. So there's disarray in The Hague, and everybody's asking about you. Where's the head of section? And then I had gone shop for my children. We're going to have a nice weekend. We're going to, sit at home, watch TV, watch videos, do their homework, do everything. And I said, boy, oh boy. So I was an international staff. I had an international vehicle. So I drove back to the court. Everything inside for the weekend. And the kids were like, Mommy, where are you going? What is happening? I said, no, hang on. Let me just run to my office. I said, I ran to my office and picked up the phone and I called The Hague. Council 1, what is happening? Oh, you should have seen it. Oh, we don't like this. And straight off, we called registrar, where are you? Yes, it's in The Hague. Yes, can I get a flight to The Hague tonight? Can I go via Accra? Can you put me on KLM, on Kenya Airways at 5:30? I'll be in The Hague and so quickly, and then I had to call my husband to say, I am leaving tonight. And he was like, I don't like this. You don't plan these things. You just tell me. Why are you hiding things from me? Why are you doing this? And then you could see the anguish, the children, some not pleased, it was too much. And so at times I am in the plane, I am also crying, the children at home, they are also crying. But then you are at a very high level. You are holding like a big job which is big for your country, big for you, and you can do it. But then there are so many ties. So when nobody went through that phase, I came back in the morning. The moment I landed, I went straight to the jail. There was a people waiting for me. Straight to the jail. So I went in, saw him. We had the discussion. We ironed it out. I came back to the office. The flight landed at 5 a.m. in Amsterdam. The vehicle took me by 6 o'clock. The lawyers were back in the office because they come early to read, to court. Went there, had a cup of coffee. We discussed, we looked at the issue, we straightened it out, I encouraged them. Okay, I'll go and hold a meeting with the prosecution at 8. I'll come back to you and I'll go to the judges. So I do all those things. And by 10 o'clock, the whole building was quiet. And everybody said, the defender is now here.
You seem so passionate about human rights issue. What inspired you? Why do you decide to become a human rights lawyer?
Well, one, because I believe in people. I care for people. And maybe it is because I am a woman. I have the maternal instinct. And since I was young, when I see people who were taken advantage of, at times I will cry when they explain. And I just said, these are the things why I'll become a lawyer. You know, not even realizing it. When you are from primary school, secondary school, I won't take this. I am going to become a lawyer in life. But you see, this lawyer thing again happens that I had my husband before we got married was a lawyer. I told him I have this dream of becoming a lawyer. And then when I finished my first degree, he was like, why don't you go and read law? And so it all started. And now I am a lawyer. Thanks to him, thanks to the support from relatives. And so for me, it is really to give back. There are different reasons why people read law. Some people read to fight advantage. Some people read to better themselves. Some people for so many reasons. But for me, really, it doesn't matter how much money you take home at the end of the day. It matters if you're able to give out justice, if you're able to help the common man. Even before I came to the legal aid board, I had started doing pro bono work. It was through pro bono work that I developed a reputation and a background to even be recruited by the Special Court at an international level, although I was from Sierra Leone. And so coming back well and truly, it's that feeling which gives you the impetus to continue to live. When you know, I can help this man, I can take that woman back to her property, I can provide maintenance for this child, I can help this person to go out of jail, I can help this person to know that I have to go to jail, but I did what I did and I had the best defense. And that even if I am poor, there's a place I can go to. So when you come to legal aid board offices, you don't need to have money. And I have had to suspend a staff who took 5,000 euros from a client. You know, and before the legal aid board, there was so much mistrust of lawyers. So much people are saying, if you don't have the money, you'll not have good lawyers, you'll have shoddy lawyers. You have lawyers who will go and take your property, not finish your case, adjournments, all these kinds of things. But really, justice should not be done like that. And so, in the special court, I used to drive in front of Badembo Road. And having worked as an international lawyer and a Sierra Leonean and being born and raised in Sierra Leone, when I see how crowded the jail is, and when I see the Black Maria go up and down from the courts, how people in the Maria deteriorate. You know, for instance, God forbid any of us is arrested. You do pass the night in the cells. In the morning, you are disheveled. Your clothes are no longer the same. In the afternoon, you become more dirty. By evening, if they get you out and they say this person did it, everybody, oh yes, this person did it, just by appearance. So you see the way detained persons deteriorate, degenerate, lose their humanity, lose their dignity. And the law says a man is presumed innocent until proven guilty. And more especially for women and children. You used to have women who are crying. Why? Battered. I had a fight with my husband. My relatives did this. My children have been done this. We can't sleep. Maintenance needs to be paid. So when you hear all these stories, they want to marry me off to get on the property because my husband is dead and all these things. The relatives are saying we should pack and go back because they own the house. This house belongs to them. The husband is their brother. And all these things.
So joining the Legal Aid Board, and we've seen you've been doing a great job bringing justice for even the people in the rural communities. How have you been able to manage that?
Well, it's the grace of God. It's teamwork. We have 16 lawyers now, and we have a number of lawyers at the Bar Association to whom we give cases who help us. We have structured the Legal Aid Board into sections. We have the programs, outreach, we have the legal representation, we also have the HR, we have the PRO's office, and we have a host of staff. And on top of all of this is the fact that we are using paralegals, training paralegals. We're about establishing the course hopefully this year, together with the Judicial Legal Training Institute and other constituent colleges. And we work in the courts, we work in the formal courts, we work in the informal courts, the local courts, we also work in the communities. The Legal Aid Act is a beautiful act. It's an act which provides for legal education, legal representation, legal assistance, ADR, what we do in the Legal Aid Board offices when we call the parties.
What has been some of the major transformation you've done in the Legal Aid Board since your time?
Well, one, I took the Legal Aid Board on a piece of paper.
Wow.
Kudos to us women.
Exactly.
I took it on a piece of paper after it was passed by Parliament. There was nothing, there was no staff, there was no building, there was nothing. And we fleshed it out and brought in the relevant staff. And now it's nationwide. We have lawyers in 8 locations for the first time in the history of Sierra Leone. Lawyers are living full-time up country. Before that, the wealthy people who could put families who could put money together, had to come to Freetown, pay a lawyer, take the lawyer, kill a goat, buy a cow, hire a vehicle, put them in the most posh hotel, give them a lot of money. And so how many times will the lawyer really go for the case to finish? So those cases never ended. So for us now, through the support of government, I want to thank His Excellency, retired Brigadier Julius Madabro, the Cabinet, Parliament, the Judiciary. We have a new CJ, and I'm very happy and excited because I don't know, this year the Legal Aid Board is for women and children, and we are chasing men who are not paying maintenance.
Wow.
And we're going for restraining orders, and we are also doing a lot of things for women who are abandoned by their husbands. And I want to take this opportunity to talk to them, talk to those men. When you marry a woman, you went and you married a woman. If you don't want the woman, divorce her. But if you don't divorce the woman, you are going to pay maintenance to that woman until divorce, or else the board will come after you. And also when you have your children, 0 to 18 is a no-go area for sexual matters as far as children are concerned. And we're happy for they're shining the light on the Hands of Our Gas campaign, on all these other things, and trying to protect women. But more importantly, as we're marching down to the 8th of March, which is the International Women's Day, and I'm happy for the gender balance. You see, when they make the sign that you open the hands this year, we're happy, we're excited, and then kudos to the women. So there's a lot happening now, and there are so many organizations, apart from the Legal Aid Board, who are also in the justice, who we have registered, who have partnered with us, and who continue to partner with us.
With all your success story, how do you manage to handle challenges?
Well, you don't prepare for challenges. Challenges come and go. Some of the challenges are, you could say, financial for a start. We need vehicles for the lawyers. We need lawyers to be able to move around. We want to be able to be on community radios, as many community radios as possible. We have a community legal empowerment program, which is looking at rural indigenous communities, especially women and children. and helping them, especially in the local courts, and paralegals are going there. And we are also very concerned that we want to set up our offices well so that they will function well, have internet facilities throughout, have generators where there's no electricity and all these things, and the number of staff which will really run these offices. But more importantly, the challenge which we have is in having witnesses in the courts, In a lot of instances, people do not want to come forward, or people don't understand the legal system, so they follow. And in a number of other witnesses, there are other situations, especially for women, they interfere with their own witnesses. For instance, in the case of battered women, we help a lot, and when we're about maybe to go to the civil courts, maybe to go for some damages and these things, the women come back to say, I'm a man, sorry for...
So what's your your recipe for success?
Well, the recipe for success is hard work. There's nothing like hard work. And the recipe for success is teamwork. And the thing is, you should take everything and everybody in good faith. You should not be a friend of the deadly sins. You get angry, you have malice, you don't like people, you hate people, like in some offices you have quarrels, you should do away with those. And you must be able to make sense out of nonsense and nonsense out of, and you must always listen to the next man, whatever the person has to say. Because at the end of the day, the person will be contributing something very meaningful. And again, I want to throw this challenge especially to couples, husband and wife. In marriages, before the marriage, when they are boyfriends and girlfriends, the men listen to these girlfriends. They talk to them, they go out with them, they take them like equals. When some of them are married, don't talk here. What do you know? You don't know anything. Be quiet. When you talk down to your partner, you're going to put the partner down.
Okay.
And when you put the partner down, you have put yourself down. Because then it means you are going to encourage yourself to go outside to find somebody who is your equal or your partner. And tomorrow when something happens, that person is not going to be there for you. And there are instances where a lot of breadwinners are arrested. You see the wives come. The man don't know what's for them. Now, also we day. And they say that man, they do all thing. It's no compliment. Human beings are born normal. And if you have a partner that is down, pull the partner up. Instead of you put the partner down, you put yourself down.
So finally, with all your busy schedule, how do you find time to relax?
Well, that's a queer word for me. Because relaxation has various modes for me. One form of relaxation definitely is walking and at the same time maybe watching news or looking at what is happening in the various news networks. And relaxation again can happen for me, especially in instances where, for instance, somebody who has been disadvantaged and who has been crying, and at the end of the day we're able to get some orders for you in court, and you come back and you are dancing. Oh, director, thank you so much. Now look at my life. I feel good. Or you go to, or the lawyers go, director, today we got acquittals. People were acquitted and discharged. And then you see the people. And then you ask one of them, how long were you in jail? Some will tell you 10 years, we go trial. I was just going 8 years, 9 years, 11, it depends. And then you ask, how have you been managing? And they tell you had given up hope. When you saw the legal aid lawyer, how did you feel? He says, mommy, I don't know how I felt when they called my name and said I have a lawyer. I said, do you know it's the government that is paying for that? He said, no. You know, we released a prisoner once. Then we were at Kuma. After he came down, he said, Freetown don't change, not so Freetown fine. Because he had been locked up in the jail for over 10 years. Can you imagine? The other one who came out, I think the first few months when we started in 2015, he said, please, I want to fill this form because we have the forms that they fill. Then we give some transportation depending on where they are going and we caution them. I want to fill this form. We said, why? It is 1 o'clock. We said, why? He said, because at 3 o'clock there's curfew. And we said, curfew in 2015? He said, yes. When he was locked up, it was the era of President Kama. There was curfew. So curfew is no longer in Freetown. I said, really?
So, finally, what advice will you want to give people who are looking up to you as a role model and those who want to go into the law profession?
I want to say one, we had the Terence and other senior professionals, lawyers who said, we have done our bit, we really made our mark, but we are leaving this profession with some of you. And we have also come, we have done so well, but we are continuing to do it. So the younger ones will encourage them. Well, first of all, go and read and study and pass. If you are reading law, don't be inundated because people say, oh, Itanga, you go fail there, you don't go pass. No, it wasn't. We had all those stories. We went and we passed. And we're not the brightest people or the best people. We just did our bit.
It's hard work and determination.
It's hard work, it's determination. So those of you who are out there, you can do it. For the young lawyers, continue to do the right thing. Don't go and sell people's house. Don't go and do the things you're not supposed to do. Definitely, as you go along, you will have a lot of opportunities. There will be so many things you can do. But I also want to take this challenge to say to the people that above everything, we must obey the law. We must respect ourselves and we must respect the rights of others. Your right goes with responsibility. Some people wake up in the morning, even in the house, they cause a lot of noise, they quarrel with people, they find problems, they go out in the streets, they take the same behavior. It is wrong. Learn to talk to people other than scream or shout at them. Even if they are your dependents, tomorrow you are going to depend on them. So husband and wife, landlord and tenants, students, children, everybody, we must obey the law. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Thank you so very much, Madam, for taking your time.
And welcome to the Legal Aid Board.
Thank you. Thank you for taking your time to share your experience with us and telling us your story.
Yeah.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
And yes, that's how we end the program for today. It has been the story of the Executive Director of the Legal Aid Board Sierra Leone, Mrs. Fatmata Hanciles. It is our story. Hope you all have got yourself inspired. Till then, I am Leonora Jawara. Thank you for watching.
Do you find yourself in a situation where you have given all hopes in your dreams and your aspirations? We may encounter many defeats, but never be defeated. So, join me, Leonora Jawara, on the inspirational program, My Story, as we bring you stories of people that will motivate you and uplift your spirit. Remember, you're never too old to start a new goal or even dream